Welcome to the 50-hour service for RockShox Reverb B1 model seat posts. If your seat post has a RockShox logo beneath the post head, you have a Reverb B1 seat post. If there is no logo, you have a Reverb A1 or A2 model seat post. Go to SRAM.com/service for more information on Reverb A1 and A2 model seat post service. You will need common bicycle maintenance tools, as well as some specialty tools. View a full list of tools and supplies needed in the video description below, or go to SRAM.com/service for more information. Secure the bicycle in an upright position. The Reverb seat post will be removed from the bicycle. Do not clamp the seat post in a bicycle work stand before removal. Use a 4mm hex wrench to remove the saddle and saddle clamps from the seat post. Disconnect the hydraulic hose from the bicycle. Turn the speed adjuster knob at the remote in the opposite direction of the arrow until it stops. Use a T25 TORX wrench to remove the remote lever assembly from the handlebar. Disconnecting the hose and barb assembly from the seat post allows for an easier service, but is not required. To disconnect the hose and barb assembly, wrap a rag around the upper post and hose barb to absorb any hydraulic fluid that may drip. Use a 7mm open-end wrench to unthread and remove the hose barb and hose. Do not allow Reverb hydraulic fluid to come into contact with any brake components. Contaminated brake components can compromise brake performance, may cause brake failure, and can lead to serious injury and/or death. Pull the hose barb and hose through the Reverb hose guide. Remove the seat post from the bicycle frame. Clamp the lower post into a bench vise with Park Tool AV5 vise inserts. Use a 34mm or adjustable open-end wrench to unthread the top cap assembly. Slide the top cap up to the post head. Remove the seat post and vise inserts from the vise. Insert flat aluminum soft jaws into the vise. Clamp the post head into the vise. Clamp only the flat surfaces of the post head. Do not clamp over the bleed port or the hose barb port. Remove the air cap. Wrap a rag around the air valve to absorb any hydraulic fluid that may escape when the Schrader valve is depressed. Depress the Schrader valve and release all air pressure from the air chamber. Verify all pressure is removed from the seat post before proceeding. Failure to do so can cause the air valve base plate to separate from the inner shaft at high velocity during disassembly. Wear safety glasses. Use a pick to lift the scalloped end of the retaining ring and remove the retaining ring from the post. Slide the lower post down to expose the air valve base plate. Remove the seat post from the vise. Place RockShox vise blocks into the vise and clamp the inner shaft into the 10mm slot, just tight enough to prevent the shaft from spinning. Do not scratch the inner shaft when clamping it into the RockShox vise blocks. Surface scratches can cause leaks and reduce performance of the seat post. Use a 26mm open-end or adjustable wrench to unthread and remove the air valve base plate from the inner shaft. Remove the seat post and vise blocks from the vise. Insert flat aluminum soft jaws into the vise and clamp the post head into the vise. Clamp only the flat surfaces of the post head. Do not clamp over the bleed port or the hose barb port. Slide the lower post up and remove it from the upper post. Do not touch the inner shaft with the lower post. Use a pick to remove the foam ring and bottom-out O-ring from the lower post. Clean the inside and outside of the lower post with isopropyl alcohol and a rag, then set it aside. Clean the foam ring and O-ring with isopropyl alcohol and a rag. Remove the 3 brass keys from the upper post. Clean the upper post and keys with isopropyl alcohol and a clean rag. Note the number of etched lines in each key. The number of lines specifies the diameter, and replacement keys must be the same diameter. Vertical wear lines on the keys are an indication that the keys are worn and should be replaced. Rotate the bushing and align the split seam toward the back of the seat post. Apply a liberal amount of SRAM butter to the bushing. Apply a liberal amount of SRAM butter to the inside of the lower post. Squeeze the bushing and slide the lower post down over the bushing. Apply a liberal amount of SRAM butter to each key slot and the upper post. Install the brass keys into the key slots. The orientation of the keys is not critical. Apply SRAM butter to the keys and upper post. Slide the top cap on the upper post to distribute the SRAM butter. Align the lower post key slots with the brass keys, and ensure the laser-etched RockShox logo is aligned with the back of the seat post head. Hold each key in place and slide the lower post down until it engages the keys. Continue to slide the post down until it contacts the top cap. Thread the top cap onto the lower post by hand. Install the original bottom-out O-ring, then the foam ring. Remove the O-ring from the air valve baseplate. Clean the O-ring and baseplate with isopropyl alcohol and a rag. Install the O-ring back onto the baseplate and apply SRAM butter. Install the air valve baseplate onto the inner shaft hand tight. Remove the seat post from the vise. Place RockShox vise blocks into the vise and clamp the inner shaft into the 10mm slot, just tight enough to prevent the shaft from spinning. Do not scratch the inner shaft when clamping it into the RockShox vise blocks. Surface scratches can cause leaks and reduce performance of the seat post. Use a torque wrench and a 26mm crowfoot socket to tighten the air valve baseplate. Install a crowfoot socket at 90 degrees to the torque wrench to ensure an accurate torque value. Remove the seat post and vise blocks from the vise. Slide the lower post to full extension. Clamp the lower post into the vise and Park Tool AV5 vise inserts. Install the retaining ring into the retaining ring groove. Insert the flat end into the groove first, then guide the ring around the post until it snaps completely into the groove. Verify the retaining ring is securely in place with a pick before continuing. Failure to properly secure the retaining ring will result in collapse of the upper post when weight is applied. Remove the seat post from the vise. Clamp the lower post into the vise with the post head oriented upward. Use a torque wrench and a 34mm crowfoot socket to tighten the top cap. Use a RockShox shock pump to pressurize the seat post to 250 psi. Reinstall the air cap. Apply a light amount of friction paste to the seat post. Failure to use friction paste could allow your seat post to slip during use, which could lead to serious injury and/or death. Reinstall the seat post into the bicycle. If you disconnected the hose and barb assembly, route the hose barb and hose through the Reverb hose guide. Thread the hose barb into the seat post. Use a torque wrench and a 7mm crowfoot socket to tighten the hose barb. Reinstall the hose onto the frame. Then reinstall the remote onto the handlebar. If you disconnected the hose and barb assembly, you must perform a full remote system bleed procedure. Click this link for video instructions or go to sram.com/service for more information. This concludes the 50-hour service procedure for RockShox Reverb B1 seat posts.